W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of Ice by Kavan, narrated by Nigel Patterson.
Foreword. Kavan's Ice is a work of literary slipstream, one of the most significant novels of its type. It was the last of the novels she wrote. It was published in 1967, a year before her death, although two other novels, whose manuscripts were found in her papers, appeared later. It is serious, evocating, and surprising, unique in its obsessive images of encroachment. It is also unusual for its virtually plotless story, told in scenes of happenstance and coincidence. The idea of slipstream literature arose in the United States at the end of the 1980s. It was originally an attempt to identify a certain kind of ambitious science fiction, which lay outside the familiar pulp magazine tropes of space travel, alien invasions, time travel, and so on. Science fiction writers whose work qualified as slipstream included J.G. Ballard, John Sladek, Thomas M. Disch, some of Philip K. Dick, and several others. At the same time, other writers, who were outside the science fiction genre, but whose work could conceivably fit into the wider definition allowed by slipstream, were summoned in support. So Angela Carter, Paul Auster, Haruki Murakami, Jorge Luis Borges, and William S. Burroughs were some of the writers invoked in this cause. Another notable inclusion was, of course, Kavan. The trouble with slipstream, in this early sense, was that its American advocates were in effect trying to create a new marketing category, a niche in the trade, into which books that were traditionally difficult to sell might be channeled to find a market. The ways of the book-selling trade are slow to change, though, and nothing much came of that. However, there was a real perception behind the label, and the idea of slipstream has taken hold and is still a rewarding way to approach a complex and intriguing writer such as Kavan. The best way to understand slipstream is to think of it as a state of mind or a particular approach, one that is outside all categorization. It is, in essence, indefinable, but slipstream introduces a sense of otherness in the audience, like a glimpse into a distorting mirror, perhaps, or a view of familiar sights and objects from an unfamiliar perspective. In general, it imparts a sense that reality might not be quite as certain as we think. It is therefore possible to find...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?